Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have a 3D project for you, which is this gorgeous little bag. And I have a matching card to go with it so that you can give both of them as a nice gift. I'm actually blog hopping over on my blog today with the lovely Inspiring group. And we are doing 3D projects. So if you want to join the blog hop, go into the comments section below. I have my web link there. Click on it and it will take you over to the blog hop so you can see what everyone else has made. But this is my project and I'm going to run through it with you now. So for this project, you will need the all dressed up dies, which are these ones here. There are a few dies in this set. You've got the big die as well. I am not going to be doing any die cutting on my table because my big shot's quite big, and by the time I bring it in and crank it up, you really can't see what's going on the screen. So I've already done the die cutting, so let me tell you what you need. First of all, I've used this big die. I haven't used any of those. So this big die here, I've used, and I have got the old olive cardstock, and I have die cut that once and twice. And then I have the Peaceful Poppy DSP, and what I've done with this is I have die cut just this section. That's all I'm going to need. So instead of wasting the paper here, I just die cut that section. So I've got one of those as well. In addition to that, I have used this label punch here, label die, and I have done 2 of those. The strip here, I have done 2 of those. This is all with old olive. The big button, I have done 1 button. And here, this is like a double buckle. So this does 1, 2, and I've got 2 of them. So I've used both of them and I've got 4 buckles. And that's all the die cutting that I've done. But like I said, it's just easier to do them and show you what I have done than bringing it up onto the desk. If you do want to see any die cutting, let me know and I can do that for you, or I can talk you through how to do it. But that's it all done, ready to assemble. So I'm going to start crafting. Yay! First of all, I'm going to be using these 2 pieces here on my bag, and I will do the card last of all. So I've got my bone folder, and I'm going to go along the score lines. So this one here you fold in, and you fold the end one in as well. You fold both the bottom tabs in. Until you get to the side. Now the side bit's a little bit trickier. This one here, you want to fold that inwards like that. If you're folding it correctly and that's going in as well, this should automatically come out like that. So you just keep pushing it. Now what I'm going to do is, once I've got it filled where I want, I'm going to use my bone folder, but I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to do part of it to create a real steep crease. Okay, so can you see what I've done? I'm going to do exactly the same on this one. So the first score line is going to be scored in. This one here is also going to be scored in. And do the bottom and the bottom like that. And then this bit here, I'm going to push it in like that. Bring it over, and I'm going to just score the top part of it so that it gets it going in the right direction for the bottom, and you can then do that. Okay. Once you've got the 2, you want to apply some adhesive. So I'm going to be using my tear and tape. I found the tear and tape a lot easier for this one. It's up to you which adhesive you use, but to me tear and tape is just so simple on this box. And you just want to run it across that flap. That's why it's easy. You can just pull it across that flap at the bottom. flap there. Don't worry about the flapping bits. I'm going to stick those back on each other. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. And that flap there. Whatever you do with your leftover tear and tape, so when you rip these little bits off here, don't stick them to your desk. I did, and it's pulled up half of my desk. It is so sticky. It has took all of the cover off it. So before you do that, beware. So what I'm going to do with this bit here, where there are little bits left over, is once I've took that off, this comes so floppy, I'm just going to fold it back on itself. So fiddling with the little bits on here. On here. These pouches are so cute. I love them. But what I would do is I would fill them up before you put the handles on, because it does leave little room. So for this, it's better if you hold it up and don't put it on your actual surface. You want to run this along that crease. That's why it's better if you hold it up, because you can eyeball the crease a lot better than if you lie it flat. And again, this one here, along the crease. Fold both flaps in, fold that one over, and then here you want some more tear and tape. Along the bottom. Seal it shut. There's your bag. How simple was that? What a cute die. And it creates a pouch like that that stands up. Brilliant. So what I've got now is I've got this big section here that I cut out using the die. Now, it's easy to show you on here. There's a stitching along the card. The die does that for you, and the stitching is also there on the DSP. So I'm just going to grab my snips and I'm going to cut along where the stitching is. It's quite a funny sensation because obviously it's like a perforation, so it's really cute to kind of cut this. But it shows you exactly what border you want. It gives you a line so you know you're spot on. And around there. Up there we go. How simple was that? I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue for this, because then if it doesn't go on in the right place, I can move it. I like a bit of manipulation when you're doing 3D projects, because you need to eyeball a lot of it and it doesn't lie flat. So use the liquid glue, and then once you've put it on, you can always maneuver it around, but you are just popping that in with where the perforated bits are, like that. Simples. This bit here that came off the bottom, so this was the bottom flap that if you were doing the big box would fold over. Keep this is quite key. You want to eyeball up the middle of this. So I'm sort of going to do that, and I'm also going to cut it where the score line is, because that looks quite ugly. So you have 2 strips. Now what you can do is on the die set, where did I put the dies so I can show you? Here they are. On the die there is a very long strip, and you can use this for a handle over the top. I've actually used the little one with this DSP. Let me show you how I mean. So what I've actually done is I've used my liquid glue and I've put a strip of liquid glue up there and a strip of liquid glue there. And I have put the strip of DSP over the top of it like that. And there again. Using your bone folder, just curve them. Now if I'd have used the big strip, I'd have had a big strip of old olive. I want a smaller handle, but I would like the stripes to be the main focal point. So that's why I did it this way. And then once you've done that, your buckles. So pop your buckle on. Just gonna, if it is too fat once you've cut it, just notch it in like you would a 3D project normally. So pop that in and pop it through there. Fiddly. Just feed your buckle on. And then the other end, I'm going to guess, means I had to notch it up that end. I'm going to have to do this end too. Feed the buckle on there as well. Once you've done that, you want to apply some adhesive to the back. So I'm actually just very quickly using Fuse because I've still got some left and it's quick. But you can use your snail or your adhesive strip, it's up to you. I'm just going to pop that on there so that the buckle is at the top. Fold it over and mirror it the other side. And then push down. Okay, and I'm just going to do exactly the same with the other one. I didn't eyeball this very well. So there's the first one. There's a second. Oh. Get off. Why is it adhesive always sticks everywhere that you don't want it to stick? So did I stick any down that end? I can't remember. There we go. And again, stick that at the top. Fold it in. Fold it over and stick it down again. And that is the majority of your pouch done. To decorate it, I got a piece of Whisper white paper. I'm using the, which set was I using? I had it somewhere. I promise you I had it somewhere. That's a stamp from it. It was Beauty Abounds, but I don't know where I've actually put the case for it. Beauty Abounds on the window ledge. So I'm using Beauty Abounds and I'm using the Hello stamp here with the old olive ink pad. While I've got it out, I'm just going to stamp it twice. So I'm going to stamp it once there and punch it with the 1 1/8 scallop punch. And then I'm going to do it again. Let me just see if it will fit in there. It will. So that I've got it twice, one for the card and one for the pouch. You now want the label bit that came from the pouch and a dimensional. Just stick that down. In the mini catalogue, there are these lovely pop-outs from the Peaceful Poppy set. So there are a few different sheets. You've got vellum, you've got black labels, you've got watercolour sheets, and you have these gorgeous pop-outs. And these are what I'm using for this project. So I'm going to use this one and this one for this bit. And I'm going to stick some Tombow liquid glue. Now this takes a bit of time to stick because these are very shiny. So give it some time. I'm going to stick that to the back of the label there. And then, oh, I told you, it's so shiny. And then I'm just going to stick that one sort of there. I'm just going to give that time to dry at the top while I bring in some scrap grid paper. I have our Whisper White Twine that is in the catalogue and our Old Olive blends. This is a dark blend, and I'm just going to colour the twine in. I'm not doing this tidy at all. I don't mind if some of the white shows. I want the majority of it to be Old Olive, but if there is some white to me, that looks grungy and I like it. So I'm going to do that. This is why I haven't put it in a bag with the refill. So when you colour in your ribbons or your twines, you can always put the refill of the colour into a little cello bag and drop the twine in, and it will dye the whole twine. I like this being patchy, so that's why I haven't done it. Okay. I have done about 25 centimetres. And leave that to the side because you're going to be doing exactly the same in a few minutes for the card. So on the back here, I'm just going to add a strip of adhesive. I'm using my Fuse for Time, but you can use your snail or your sticky strip, up to you. Start in the middle and just wind this round. You'll find that twine tells you which way it wants to go. Pop some dimensionals on to pop it up. And I always pop the dimensionals over the element, the backing and the twine, because it just gives it some more stick, more reassurance that it's going to be there. And then just pop that on your bag. And that's your bag done. Bring in a couple of pearls. So I'm using a medium-sized pearl and a smaller pearl. And there we go. And what is great about the backing on this bag is because you had that perforated line, it has finished it really tidy. I really like that. So there's the bag. Let me show you how to make the matching card. So for the card, you need a backing sheet of Old Olive. This is 10 centimetres by 14.2 centimetres. And this here is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8 centimetres. And in addition, I have a sheet of the same DSP. This is 3 inches. Now, I can't remember what that is in centimetres. Nine centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. And this is just going to stick on the bottom of the cardstock there. So just pop that down. Leave a slight gap, not big, but just a slight gap, so it's like that. And then you want your twine again. So we'll bring that back after throwing it over there. My pen. And you know I told you to keep that twine handy? Yeah, oh, there it is. I have such a small crafting space here, I really do. This is why I film here and I craft at the back of me, because this is such a small, this is where the desk finish is. So I have everything piled on top of everything, which is why I can never find anything. So with this, you want a slightly longer piece of twine coloured. The length of this piece, it needs to wrap around your card 3 times. So if my card is 9.5 centimetres, this needs to be 9.5, 9.5, 19, double that again. So you're looking, well, the easiest way to do it would be this: 1, 2, 3, and then you want to do a bow as well with it, so wrap it round 4 times as an idea. Oh, so you are looking, that's 40 centimetres. You're probably going to be looking about 60 centimetres worth of twine. I always go by the golden rule that you can cut twine off if it's too long, but you can't add it on if it's too short. So make sure you do enough. I think I'm colouring the paper more than I'm colouring the twine. What do you reckon? And all the bits now. This is exactly the same, by the way, where I don't mind there being whisper white parts of the twine, so long as the majority of it is old olive. I'm happy with it looking grungy. Right, that for me is enough. Pop my lid on. Drop it there. So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the twine into a bow at the end. So this is the very end of the twine, and I'm just going to pop a bow into it. The bow needs to have biggish loops, not twisted loops, but big loops. I say biggish, you could probably fit your finger in. Okay, and that is going to go just there. So if you've got a glue dot, pop it onto that section. Pop your bow on, and then just pop another glue dot on top of the knot of that bow, because you're going to come round twisting the twine now. So you want to come across, straight across the DSP, stick it into the glue dot, a little bit up, stick it into the glue dot, a little bit down, and then you want to stick that into the glue dot. And that's tail. That's what I mean. You can always cut extra off, but you can't add extra on. So I've probably done about 10-15 centimetres too much, but I'd rather do too much than too little. And I'm just going to pop another glue dot now onto there. And the button that I cut, got my finger stuck. I'm going to stick the button on top of the glue dot, like that. Pop some adhesive on the back and stick it onto the old olive cardstock. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick it onto a 10-fold card. So this is a thick piece of whisper white that's cut in half and then scored in half to create a 10-fold card. And I'm going to stick the card onto that. And then I'm going to take the hello that I punched out earlier, my die frame, and I'm going to come back over with the poppies again. So these poppies are the alternate side. Let me show you what I mean. Before, The big poppy was on the left and the little poppy was on the right. This is mirror imaged, and the bud is mirror imaged as well. So you had 2 that were this way and 2 that were this way on the sheet, if you see what I mean. So with this one, you're going to be doing roughly the same. You're going to be popping a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to do it that way. Onto your cardstock. I'm going to pop that about there. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of adhesive onto here. And I'm going to stick that behind there. Like that. Pop that up onto there. And then again, I'm going to come in with a couple of dimensionals on the back here, and I'm going to stick it over half where the elements are and half where the backing is. So it's just more reasons for it all to stick down together. I'm going to stick that over the corner. There. Those are my 2 cards. Oh, my little pearls. So again, 1 big one. Oh, come on, play ball. There's the big one and the little one. So there's my 2 cards and my 2 pouches, and they will go together nicely as a gift together. What do you think? This is so simple to use. I mean, it takes some time to put it all together and make it look beautiful, but you can make any design with any paper that you want in any colour, and it's such a simple die. All of the details are over on my blog, so you can go shopping there, slimandstylish.com. If you head up to the top bit, there's a banner and it says buy. Click on there and it takes you straight to my store, so you can check out everything else. Do check out everybody else's projects in the blog. And if you've liked this, please do subscribe and pop back for more videos. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.